Welcome back. We're here to break down the Los Angeles Raiders. And I'm here with Mort again. And this is going to be quite the breakdown. We're going to do play-by-play analysis when we play the game with the Raiders. So this is one you're definitely going to want to check out. Get a lot of knowledge from this one. So the Los Angeles Raiders, they are the fastest team in the game. Let's not make any mistake about that. Offensively, they are the fastest team in the game. They have tons of weapons, and we're going to talk about those. The Oakland Raiders were 12-4 in 1990. It's the year that Bo Jackson got injured, and he actually never even played in 1991. But the Oakland Raiders managed a 9-7 even without Bo Jackson. So let's take a look at their one weakness on offense. And that is their quarterback, Jay Schroeder. 13 maximum speed. He's not the most mobile guy. The one thing that's good about him, or actually there's two things. His passing speed's a 69. What's up? How's it going? His avoid pass block is a 63, so you won't get as many passes blocked. And ignore the accuracy of passing. His pass control is only a 31. And that's very poor, so you're going to hope that his condition goes up later in the game. I know, imagine if Bo never got hurt.
Yeah, dude, the greatest football and baseball player of all time, probably.
Yep, we got Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen, that's for sure. So their backup, Steve Berline, he had some success later in his career, but on the Oakland Raiders, he's just a backup. But he has solid passing speed. His mobility, he's a 13 maximum speed, so he's not very mobile. Pass control, 38, so he's actually better than Jay Schroeder there. And avoid pass block, 38. So you will want to keep an eye on Berline because you're going to put him in the game if his condition is better than Schroeder. But some people might like Schroeder's pass speed, so you might just keep him in. Bo Jackson, here he is, the ultimate running back in this game. He's got 75 maximum speed. His running speed's a 38. His acceleration is 69, which is the rushing power. And his hit power is an even solid 31. And not only that, his ball control is juiced up to an 81. So expect less fumbles from Bo Jackson. He's going to be tough to stop. If your user defender gets knocked over or popcorned, then Bo Jackson might take it to the house. And even the fact that there's Bo Jackson, Marcus Allen is the backup running back. And you really split time with Marcus Allen, but he is also very good. He's a 56 maximum speed, 25 hitting power. Ball control's at your average 50, and he has a 31 receptions. So Marcus Allen, you're going to want to give him some carries as well if you're using the Oakland Raiders. Steve Smith, he's another running back on this team. Obviously, because you're so top-heavy with Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen, the only reason you use Steve Smith is for his hitting power. He's got a 50 hitting power. So I know like when Mort likes to build or make his offensive lineup, he'll use guys with hit power in tight end spots. So that might be the only reason you use Steve Smith on the Raiders, not as an actual running back. Greg Bell's another running back. He's got a 38 hitting power. That's not that great. 31 maximum speed, 19 receptions. So he's probably staying on the bench for sure. Now let's take a look at these wide receivers. Mervyn Fernandez. So Mervyn Fernandez is quite good. He's got a 50 maximum speed, so he's got some speed on him. Ball control, 63, so that's better than the average 50. And a 63 receptions, so look for Mervyn Fernandez to get some action in. Willie Gault, here's your speed receiver. Willie Gault's a 63 maximum speed, so you got two guys that are really fast as wide receivers. Running speed at 44 at the snap of the ball. His receptions are pretty good with 56 and a 50 ball control. 13 hitting power, that's pretty much what you expect from the wide receivers. And then Tim Brown, a backup wide receiver. Here's another guy that's fast that you could put in the game.
Pretty good career, too.
Yeah, Tim Brown, he had a great career. In this game, he was subject to just being a kick returner, but you could definitely bring him out off the bench and expect him to do some damage. 44 running speed, 56 maximum speed, 50 ball control, 50 receptions. So he's an option if you want to do some things in the passing game. Sam Graddy, wide receiver. He is a fourth wide receiver, and can you believe a fourth wide receiver actually has a 63 maximum speed? But look at his receptions, 19. So that's the drawback of Sam Graddy. And when you have two quarterbacks with poor pass control, it's going to make it even harder to make those completions, especially if they're guarded. You could pretty much expect an interception if you're guarded by a guy like Wayne Haddix or Deion Sanders, someone like that. Ethan Horton, their tight end, so he's got that 50 hitting power as well. 44 receptions, that's just all right. So, yeah, he's going to be in there for blocking purposes, 50 ball control average. And then Mike Dial, he's got the 38 hitting power, 25 receptions. Pretty bad for a tight end. Honestly, if it was me and I was trying to get more blocking, I would probably put in Steve Smith for blocking over him, just because he has that 50 hitting power, and the receptions are better as well. So, yeah, he's going to stay on the bench. The Oakland Raiders' offensive line is above average. They got a few guys with 50 that could hold their own. Don Moosbar. I remember Don Moosbar from the last stream we did. He scored a touchdown off a blocked field goal. The left guard is a 69 hitting power, 44 maximum speed. Max Montoya, right guard, 56 hitting power. That's good. Bruce Wilkerson, left tackle, 50 hitting power, 50 maximum speed. Wow, if that was their right tackle, that kick returner would get a 50. That would be crazy. And then Rory Graves, your right tackle, he has 50 hitting power, only a 25 maximum speed, so that's what your kick returner will receive, is that. Jeff Jager is, an average kicker, average to above average, 56 kicking ability. That will let you kick about a 69-yard field goal. Avoid kick block is pretty average too, at a 56. So, and then your punter kind of sucks. Yeah. Nice curly. He looks like Joe Montana. He's the same punter.
All right, let's go on to the Raiders' defense. The Raiders had the best defensive line on average in Tecmo. They got Greg Townsend with 56 maximum speed, 63 hitting power, 31 interceptions, not bad for a defensive lineman, 50 rushing power for the acceleration, 38 running speed, very good defensive lineman. Bob Golick, he's not as fast, just has 69 hitting power, but that's a lot of hitting power, and just not as fast, 31 maximum speed, 31 rushing power. And Howie Long, who most people probably just remember from watching on TV and commercials, but he was a hell of a football player. In this game, he had 50 rushing power, 56 maximum speed, 69 hitting power, 31 interceptions as well, which isn't that bad. Raiders linebackers do leave a lot to be desired. Aaron Wallace is a 44, 38, 38, not much there. Let's see, Scott Davis has some hitting power at 63, 44 maximum speed is decent, 25 interceptions, decent. Ricky Ellison, a 38 MS linebacker, 44 interceptions, though, for Ricky Ellison. That's something that might be useful in coverage. And Jerry Robinson is a 38 and another 44 INT. So they got some guys who can stop the pass in the linebacker core, but they're not too fast. Now let's go to the very fast set of defensive backs, starting with Washington, who's a 56 maximum speed, only 38 interceptions, 44 on the rushing power, 44 hitting power, 38 running speed. The other quarterback, Mcdaniel, is another 56 MS, 38, I think identical stats, 44 rushing power, 44 hitting power. Then the first safety, Eddie Anderson, the leader of this defense, is 63 maximum speed, 69 hitting power, 50 interceptions, 50 rushing power. A very good safety to have in your backfield. And finally, Mark Horton, 50 interceptions, 44 maximum speed. But overall, you got some nice speed components in the defensive backfield. You got a couple linebackers you can use in coverage on obvious passing downs. And you got some defensive linemen you might want to try playing around with because they got two of them with 31 INT. They can go into coverage. And this will also be the 44 MS for your punt returner as well.
Yeah, I really like the Raiders' defense. It's well balanced.
Yep.
Like you said, the only thing that could be a weakness is their linebacking core, but they still got guys like Scott Davis, who's got not only 25 interceptions, which is above average for a linebacker, but that's 63 hitting power. And you got guys on the line who even have decent interceptions. So it's pretty good for the Oakland Raiders defense. So let's take a look at the matchups.
So the matchups for the Raiders, fair matchups, Raiders versus Kansas City. We could go with Raiders versus the Philadelphia Eagles, Raiders versus Chicago, Raiders versus Miami could be a fair matchup. Let's see, Raiders versus Cincinnati. Those are all pretty much even matchups for the Raiders. You're kind of some of the closer matchups. I mean, I could see. Let's see, Raiders versus. I guess you could be the Rams if you wanted to, but I don't. You could be Miami, so why would you do that? I mean, Raiders versus. Let's see.
Well, I think you can make a case for Raiders versus Oilers if you know, especially if you want to balance. Like, is he going to take the passing game
on the running
or the running game? You know, the one drawback to that matchup is on the Raiders side, where their defensive backs are not going to do too well because of their interception ratings against the Oilers.
Or I can even kind of see a Raiders versus Bills, where it's kind of like, you know, you still be able to you'd be able to pass on the Bills' weaker secondary a little bit. Maybe you could pull something off of that. I mean, at the same time, I can see you playing with Minnesota against the Raiders if you play really good, or Detroit, the Rams, maybe. But as it goes down, it gets harder and harder because those weapons just make it. I wouldn't want to be Tampa Bay and have to go off against the Raiders. I don't think I'd even want to be like, let's see, San Diego and have to go up against the Raiders. Sometimes it'll just be too challenging. But mainly those Raiders matchups with KC, Chicago, Philadelphia, and Cincinnati, and Miami are the most common ones.
Yep, I would agree.
And then as for the matchup, you want to take the Raiders?
I'll take the Raiders since you gave yourself Bo Jackson last time.
Yeah.
So
I thought about this at work today. I thought about taking QB Eagles, but I think I'm going to take Miami.
You're going to take Miami? The chat box said Raiders versus Eagles. That's what they want. That's funny that you said that. And then they said, how are we feeling about the Bo Jackson Kia commercial?
It was okay.
I loved it, honestly. Whenever you hear the Tecmo music come on your TV during a football game, you're like, wow, this is freaking awesome. So you're going to go with Miami?
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing our play-by-play analysis during the game, so the outcome is going to be greatly affected by that because we're going to give away some of the things that we're doing and we're thinking as we're playing, but that's okay because I'm trying to put this out there to just, give everyone a
as
guide.
Much as possible.
So I'm going to leave Jackson Allen. I like Schrader's
passing speed,
so I'm going to leave him in. And I'll just leave Horton at tight end. And yes, I should be good to go.
All right, let's see.
So yeah, Mort's taking the Dolphins in this one. I actually wasn't going to recommend a matchup like this, but I could definitely see it. I love using the Dolphins in this game. I think you make a good case that Dan Marino is the best quarterback in the game just based off his pass control and passing speed combination. There really isn't anybody else who has quite that. I mean, Warren Moon and QB Eagles, Randall Cunningham, they have higher passing speed with the pass control, but not quite the cannon that Marino has. Where's the next gen Ben? He's around somewhere. He's in the house. All right, I'm going to kick off. How do you feel about when you're playing a guy in the tournament and he just skips the coin toss? Do you care?
Nah, it would have been the same thing anyways. Who cares?
I always like to watch it. What's up, Troy? How's it going? Top 3 QBs in this game? What do you think, Mort?
QB Eagles, QB Bills.
Joe Montana?
Yeah.
Montana, Marino, Moon. You could make a case for that too. All right, so starting off on defense, this is the Miami we're talking about. They have a great offensive line and guys to block, but I am not too worried about the running game. So I'm going to be calling a lot of passes throughout this entirety of this game. And that being said, I'm going to be using a lot of Eddie Anderson. And Marino didn't make that throw. Because Eddie Anderson, he has the highest interceptions on the team and the highest speed. And, even though he might be out of position in some runs, I'm not as worried with the Dolphins because they just don't have the speed at running back. So I can recover. So you're going to see a lot of Eddie Anderson. He's running down, so I'm in the prime position. He makes a few good moves. And honestly, if you're giving up that many yards on the sweep to the Dolphins, you're probably not defending it that well. Should be able to limit that to 3 to 5 yard gain. So I called the right play there. That always helps out. Called pass, but didn't get too good of coverage. He's got some guys open. I did stay home, so I was able to break up that pass. It was looking like he was trying to bluff me into that wide receiver down there in the tight end position, but it didn't bite. And then the sweep down. And he follows his blockers well, and that's the thing about the Dolphins. Even though they don't have the speed, they got great blockers. Didn't want to run into him, but couldn't avoid him. So I might try someone different on defense next time that scenario comes up. Nice throw.
Gotta take advantage of that dart he throws.
Yeah. And I called pass there, and I just didn't get good coverage. Was that your pass 4?
Are we?
It's delayed.
Oh, I see. Oh, it's delayed.
Yeah.
Okay. That was my fast 4. Yeah. And I figured with that dart, I just took a chance on it because I figured it wouldn't be picked off, so just took that chance and he's stung it in there. All right. Now I'm going up against the Raiders, so I'm going up against a great running game, and I've actually got good defensive backs, so I got the luxury of guessing a few more runs to try to get this running game, keep it off balance, and then just rely on get some obvious passing downs and take advantage of these safeties I got.
And that was just a misclick. I wanted to throw the guy in the middle, but I messed that up.
Oh, that's the low receptions.
Yeah, low reception rating with, I think that was Bo Jackson and then Jay Schrader. So that should have been a completion, but based off the team, that's why it wasn't. So, sometimes that's the breaks using the Raiders. They could get you in a passing situation. You're going to be feeling pretty good. And wasn't able to do anything there. And honestly, 4th down and 13, I'm going to have to punt. Looking back on that offensive series with the Raiders, you're probably going to try run twice, pass once. I don't regret it. I made a good play, and he just dropped the ball, and then I went to the run where I should have probably went pass for the 3rd time, but I thought I should give Bo Jackson a shot, and there was nothing home. getting great blocking on that sweep down. So if he runs that play enough times, then he might be able to get me to start calling it. So I'm just going to try to use one of the other faster defenders, Washington, corner. He got the first down, but I could see from using that cornerback on the top that I probably have a better chance of stopping that play, because I can get behind everyone. But he out-taps me right there. Didn't have any drones there. He's casually cruising down the field. And then he's running right at me because he sees me pick the top corner. I get a fumble, but it goes out of bounds.
It's always good to get out of bounds or be close to be getting out of bounds.
And that's why I feel pretty good about letting the Dolphins run on me, because, you know, stuff like that can happen. I missed an opportunity. Get him for a couple yard loss there. So I'm going to switch to the top corner. So, and I hit a couple guys down, but I just can't get there in time, and he gets a first down. Bo, Okoye, Anderson, top 3 running backs. Yeah, that's a good lineup right there.
I got Sanders in my top 3.
Yeah, Sanders for sure. So he's running.
McCoy is definitely number 3 in my book too.
So this time I guess run, and he finally picks a good play. That's the first play that I didn't pick pass on defense, and he takes advantage of it for a huge gain. So we're kind of playing the game of chess there. We get some good blocking. I'm able to dive tackle Marino. He's just mixing up his offense very well right now. He's trying to free up all these guys, and I do. And here we go. I'm going to use Anderson on this play. And,
nice computer
sack. So yeah, the Raiders will do that. They got some guys on the line. The cornerback got the sack there.
Even though I got that advantage too, I didn't want to throw an interception there, and I didn't want to turn over the ball, so I ran the ball a lot there, because I figured it would be methodical and make sure at least get 3 points there. And then just play some good defense, because with the time running out, I'm not as worried about the Raiders scoring if I contain the running backs, because the passing game is, I got great defensive backs to counter their passing game.
I tried to get him to come down there, but he stayed on the top receiver. And, you know, Schrader's got that pass speed. I thought I could throw that one just based off the position he was in, but didn't work out. And Gault did have a little bit of separation there.
I just got great coverage there.
But he had good coverage on it. Probably could have thrown to the receiver below the tight end, but didn't do it. So now I just want to punt. And unfortunately, it looks like I'll probably give him enough time to throw one up there. If I could hold him here, I'll be in pretty good shape, because I get the ball back at halftime, and I'm only down 10, so only a 2-possession game. I picked the right play, and he smartly gets rid of the ball. And we're getting a conversation in the chat box on who the best players are in the game, so we'll just let that keep going, and we'll keep giving our analysis on the game.
Andre Rison, he's definitely, Andre Rison, Jerry Rice, and Drew Hill. I got him on the top 3 receivers. Top tight ends, let's see, with tight end, it's Keith Jackson. You actually got to think for a second on that one. Marv Cook.
Oh, man. And he's bottling up the run very well here.
Probably the guy in Minnesota, Jordan, would be the other one.
So I got him with Offerdahl in the middle. And
Bo Jackson's finally broken contain.
finally got something going in the running game. So that's exactly that's exactly what I wanted out of that play. He actually picked the linebacker instead of one of his good safeties, and it worked out for me there. So now I'm feeling pretty good, even after one game, and Mort pretty much dominated the beginning of this game.
You moved him over just enough.
I know. Yeah, so Schrader's poor pass control actually benefited me right there.
Offendale's good INT, so I've been giving him a lot of run.
And I was trying to throw there, but I passed the line of scrimmage and only pick up a yard.
I can go back to it.
Yeah, it worked pretty well last time. 4th and 3, it only being a 2-possession game, I have to try to just kick the field goal. Since I'm down just 10.
I would just need his defense.
Would we ever consider teaching Tecmo at a university level? Of course.
We would, but I don't know if the university's going to pay us. I mean, Professor Mort, I should get an honorary PhD in this.
Tecmo 101, Mort's blog, check it out. Breaking it down all day, every day.
I'm a little bit of danger here because of where the end zone is. Like, Marino, if he got sacked here, it's not the greatest. Oh, but then...
Oh, man, he's breaking tackles left and right.
And he's fumbling, too. Good thing they went out of bounds on the other sidelines.
So, great run there by Mort. Able to give himself separation. And I'm just going to... On these draws, he's trying to ISO me so he can out-tap me, but I'm not letting it happen. Just wait until my Raiders players free up. So I'm going to pick the corner down here. And I thought he would try to get some yards.
Oh, boy, they're going to give you a touchdown.
Just like that, Greg Townsend, we got a tie ball game coming up.
I really should have checked conditions. Started to wonder if he wasn't bad. That was ridiculous.
Well, he had that nice run that you ran the sweep up.
Yeah.
So he didn't look that slow.
Yeah, that too. He felt fine. You always should check because the ball control, but that was his third fumble, too. It could just be one of those games.
So this is why you don't give up even when you're down by 2 possessions, because something like that could turn the game around.
I'm not getting much of a kick return.
He's not doing much getting out of the end zone. Smith was an excellent.
Well, whatever he was in, you can't really tell. Page is actually bad, but I'll put Smith in. Clayton's in bad.
So Miami's got tons of options on their offense, so...
Yeah, that's a nice thing, too.
If you get guys in bad condition, you got a couple tight ends you could throw in. Two good wide receivers in Super Duper and Mark Clayton.
Yeah. All right.
And Troy says, joint post commentary with yours truly and Mort coming soon. All right, so he's deep again in his territory. I'm going to pick the corner down here. So I guess pass, and it was a pass, but I'm getting horrible coverage out of it. And he hits me for a big gain. I was creeping down on some of the short receivers. So now I'm probably expecting runs, so I'm going with this corner up top. And he passes, I guess pass. Again, I'm not too happy with the coverage I just received.
Shit. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
2 fumbles. Mort's not getting the breaks right now.
Alright, that's all right. There's plenty of time on the clock.
This time, I give Marcus Allen a carry.
All right, I just gotta stay in the defense and just make sure I keep him contained here and just get back on track.
Bo's just too fast coming out on that block. He didn't give me much blocking. He's just flying through the hole. Oh, and
jump that one.
Mort caught me sneaking. And I'm in field goal range, and I'm just going to kick a field goal.
Not bad for my defense. I got a good kicker, and I took a gamble there, but with those high passing speed quarterbacks, sometimes you can gamble because they miss those deep guys too, and just make sure I contain him, and then hopefully there'll be no more fumbles in this game, but you never know with Tecmo.
So who do we got in this Puerto Rico USA game tonight? We're taking USA, I think.
I hope USA wins, but Puerto Rico's hungry, so we'll have to see.
All right, so he's going to be... I just really want to prevent the deep pass here. He might still try to sneak in a couple runs, so I'll be ready for that. And he catches Smith for a nice gain. I'm really not happy with the coverage I'm receiving when I pick a corner or safety. I might start using linebacker to try to get some coverage back there, but he picks a running play down. Here's obvious passing, so I'm going to bring a linebacker in coverage. This is only shotgun play. Still not great coverage. Guess pass. And Mort fooled me there. And I don't have the speed. And he tried to juke a little bit just to shave some time off the clock.
Yeah, I noticed in our past few games I haven't been taking advantage of some of the openings in the passing game. So, it's easier to do it with Marino, though. With Marino, you're just confident in every throw, and, it makes it harder for the defender to jump things into that passing speed and the control, because there's hardly anybody else like that. The only real comparisons are Moon and QB Eagles. Like the other quarterbacks, like Schrader, you try that, you'll complete one of those every now and then. Again, he'll miss all the others.
So Schrader isn't bad, so I'm going to bring Burline in because it might come down to just a Hail Mary, JJ. But I still have a little bit of time before I have to resort to that.
Let's keep that clock moving.
And now I feel like it's time to just heave one down there. Willie Gault, he's got the speed. This is going to be the last play of the game.
Oh, I had a drone back there. I wasn't locked on, but my drone came through.
Good game.
Yeah, good game. No, that was definitely a good one. Those fumbles, they had me worried for a minute there.
Yeah, with the mistakes that happened for Mort with the fumbles, I should have been able to punch in some more points, but, left the game open for an opportunity, and, Mort took advantage of it there, shutting down the Raiders' offense pretty well. Yeah, I think 76 total yards. I guessed a lot of run that game because I knew with Bo Jackson, I knew I could cover I could just cover, and then luckily for me, he wasn't able to take too much advantage except for that one big run here and there. But it doesn't always work like that. But that's the one thing I always found when you're playing with the Raiders. Sometimes it's hard to get them going because of that quarterback. They got great running, they got great receivers, but the quarterback, you need a quarterback to throw the ball, and sometimes the Raiders just don't have it. Yeah, and that happened to me on the opening drive. It stalled. It was 3 and out. I had that good pass play to Jackson, and he just dropped the ball. He was wide open. Troy's asking, has Mort lost any of these games?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's lost a couple. I think the Vikings and... We did the last analysis. I went on a JJ. It was what, Jets Saints play-by-play analysis. Yeah, the linebackers are not as good. Yeah, using Howie on defense probably would have been the better option. So yeah, just experimenting with the Raiders.
Yeah, but with that obvious pass to 44 INT guy, you're like your safeties. You only have one really good safety, and sometimes you don't want to be the defensive lineman anyways because they're awkward. But I mean, it wasn't too bad. I mean, but yeah, it is what it is. Well, we're gonna do the Chargers in like 30 minutes, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna do the Chargers in 30 minutes. So yeah, we wrapped up the Raiders for you. Put on a nice little game, play-by-play. Mort shows you how it's done with the Dolphins against the Raiders. So when we play Chargers, hopefully I could come back with a better effort and take care of business. But hope you enjoyed the stream, and we'll be back soon.
All right, yeah.